So it's been said that the average millionaire has around 7 streams of income that end up affording them the quality of life that they want. By quality of life, I do not mean making tens of millions of dollars every year. Instead, I mean the ability to stop trading time in exchange for money, or at the very least reduce that amount of time. The average person, on the other hand, has just one stream of income and is exclusively dependent on that for their livelihood. Yeah, it's a little scary now that you've heard it like that. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 7 forms of income that might be able to give you some ideas on how to bring in some additional cash flow. There are also timestamps in the description below which you can use to jump to or revisit each income stream that I'll mention. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Legend has it that money drops from the sky when you subscribe. Alright, let's begin. Number 1, earned income. This is the most common income stream. It's the money that you receive as a result of the job that you have. It's the salary that you earn in exchange for your time. There's a common thought that job stands for just over broke, because you're being paid for your time, and if you lose that job, you may not have any other cash flow coming in. The reason that a lot of people solely rely on this form is because it positions you within your comfort zone by allowing you to afford your basic needs and some wants, while not giving you the push that you need to build other income streams so that you can live a better life. There's a limit on the amount of money that you can make through earned income, because there's a limited amount of time in each day. So if you're paid by the hour, day, or on a salary, that is the limit by which the money will be determined. This also tends to be the highest taxed income stream in the US, with almost 40% going to the government. It's extremely important to know that earned income has often served as the base for most self-made millionaires by affording them the ability to develop other skills, knowledge, or businesses that they could eventually turn into alternative sources of revenue. And that's something that happens over time. Number 2, profit income. Profit income in a nutshell is what you earn as a business owner or entrepreneur. Now there may be some initial investments that you are likely going to have to make, either in time or resources to get this off the ground. But it may well be worth the risk and effort in the long run. You've got to look for where the demand is. Right now, I'm on my last roll of toilet paper after being in quarantine for a month, so there's an idea for you. You can even start off small by selling products online on eBay or Amazon to get an idea of the hustle that's required to make profit income viable for you. There are also plenty of tax write-offs that you can take advantage of when you own your own business, so consider those as well. Number 3, interest income. Interest income is not the most flashy thing in the world, but it's essentially the interest that you receive when you stick your money in the bank, and your money earns money by just being there. It tends to be fairly small because most banks pay on average 0.1% interest, but you might be able to boost that return up by looking into using a high yield savings account, which can shoot that up anywhere from 1.5% to 2% interest, or even consider using a CD where you leave your money in the bank for a fixed amount of time so that you can earn interest. Now, while this return rate may look small to you, don't discount the power of compounding, which can gradually make your money grow exponentially over time. But that's a whole other discussion for another video. Number 4, dividend income. This one is just as passive as interest income. It's the money that you primarily get through the stock market and is a return for the shares that you own in a company. When you are a shareholder of a business and own stock, many companies offer you a quarterly dividend as an incentive to stay invested in the company. Many people do look to invest in businesses with a steady, growing dividend return, since it can serve as a decent source of cash flow that you don't have to spend a lot of time on. Number 5, royalty income. Royalties tend to be one of the more uncommon income sources, unless you own some kind of intellectual property. This can be music, art, or programs that you develop and then license to people for their use. The challenge here would be creating something that someone else would want to pay you to use. You would be earning a small percentage of whatever they earn, or they may even pay you a license fee. Hey, you never know, maybe you might be able to get somebody to license your next TikTok, so keep practicing your lip syncing and dance routines with your mom. The sky's the limit with the amount that you can earn through this, but it does tend to be less common than you would expect. Number 6, rental income. This is the money that you get as a result of renting out an asset that you have, like a house or a building. Now this income source is great, but there are inherent drawbacks of this one over the others. One of the biggest drawbacks is the amount of money that is required to create such an asset that can end up generating regular rental income. Since the money that's required is fairly large, you may not be able to create many such assets in your lifetime. unless you have other sources of income. The benefit to this is how passive this eventually becomes, with you simply receiving money from whoever you're renting out your property to, not to mention the tax advantages that you can receive by being a property owner. And finally, capital gains. Capital gains is the money that you earn when an asset that you own appreciates in value. A lot of people in the top 1% point to capital gains as a big part of what forms their wealth. In the stock market, this is buying a stock and then selling it when the price goes up over time. The other is real estate, where the property that you purchase increases in value and you sell it at a higher price. Now, it's important to note that most millionaires do not have all 7 income streams, and you likely do not need to either. In fact, most of them are probably going to have just 1 or 2. Someone like Warren Buffett makes all of his money through capital gains and dividend income, while Bill Gates only has profit income and royalty income through Microsoft and Windows. The main takeaway from this is that one of the biggest risks that you can take is to solely rely on your earned income and exchange your time for that money. All other income streams are not directly dependent on time, and hence can leverage time well to generate huge wealth. So try to develop alternative means of bringing in cash flow, and maybe, just maybe one day, you may end up becoming a millionaire. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Vihan Shalaya. I'll see you next week.